breathed out by you. Your spirit wrote through men like a pen in the hand of a God who knew that.
Hey, welcome back. We are looking at the New City Catechism and question 13. Here it is. Can anyone keep the law of God perfectly? Think about that. Can anyone keep the law of God perfectly? Here's the answer. Since the fall, no mere human has been able to keep the law of God perfectly, but consistently breaks it in thought and word and deed. Have you ever thought, I'm pretty good. I do what I'm told to do. In fact, when I compare myself to the people around me, I do pretty well. Well, the Bible has bad news for us. Romans 3 verses 10, 11, and 12 say something that you see in all of the rest of the Bible. It goes back to that word, the fall. When Adam and Eve sinned, all of their children and their children's children, and that winds up with you and me, all of us wind up in the same family. And that means we don't measure up. Here's what the verses say. None is righteous. No, not one. No one understands. No one seeks for God. All have turned aside. Together they have become worthless. No one does good. Not even one. So if you've been asked by someone in authority over you, whether that would be a teacher or a parent or an employer, to do something, you might think, I can do that. And you do your best for a while and you get tired of it, or maybe you didn't want to do it to begin with. And you come up short. It's kind of like this. If you ask me, Steve, could you draw a circle? And I say, yeah, I can draw a circle. And so I set out and I draw a circle. And you might even say, wow, Steve, that's a good circle. But when I compare it to that circle, maybe I can even draw a better circle than you. Or how about, Steve, could you draw a line? Or Steve, could you draw a square? But if you look at them closely, in fact, if you compare them to the real thing, I don't measure up. Here's the problem. The problem with you and me is not that we don't measure up pretty good against the people that we like to compare ourselves to. You can always find someone who's worse than you. It might be a comfort to you, but see, our standard is God. The law of God is the perfect standard. Let's put it this way. The problem with you and me is not how bad we are as much as how good we're not. I do not naturally keep God's law, and neither do you. So question 13 says, can anyone keep the law of God perfectly? And the answer, since the fall, no mere human, because Jesus is no mere human. No mere human has been able to keep the law of God perfectly, but consistently breaks it in thought and word and deed. The bad news is you and I consistently break God's word, God's law in thought and word and deed. But the good news is we have a Redeemer. Being a lawbreaker can take you one of two directions. Despair and say, I can't do this, and we walk away and ignore it. Or we say, I need Jesus. You and I need Jesus.
From Genesis to Revelation, there's one story.